Hi and welcome to Tassi Studio. I'm Tassi and today we are going to explore personal style, self-expression, and the joy of dressing at any age and how we can interchange that with our knitting. And if this is something that excites you, stay with me for this journey. As I said, I'm Tassi and today is Wednesday, May 21st, and in today's episode we are going to feel both cozy and empowering because we are going to talk about the magic of interchangeable knitwear and how we can build our wardrobe, and a wardrobe that works with you, and why fashion after 50 and 60 isn't about rules but about freedom. I'm also going to mention and celebrate with you two incredible style icons, and they have proved to us that fashion has no age limit. And these are the work of Linda V. Wright, the Paris-based and queen of classic knits, and Grace Gannon, whose bold modern looks break every outdated fashion rule in the best way possible. So stay with me and let's go on this journey. First, I wanted to talk about why knitwear. And let's just start with the basics. Honestly, for women in their 50s and 60s, for them and for me, knitwear just makes sense because knitwears are soft, forgiving, structured when you need it to be, but is also fluid when you don't. It keeps you warm without bulk, travels well, and it can easily shift from day to night with a change of shoes or accessories. Whether you just make small changes or bigger ones, the knitwears always work with your combinations. But what really makes me excited is how interchangeable the knit pieces are. Like a great cardigan, a matching knit set, a layered vest, or accessories like scarf and hats, they can open up your wardrobe. Think of them as style building blocks, and they create continuity and calm in your closet while giving you endless combinations to play with. So what do we mean when we say interchangeable? These are knit pieces that work together and across outfits. So a neutral cashmere sweater or a turtleneck that layers under a sweater, a cardigan, or a blazer, or even over a dress. Or a sleeveless ribbed tunic that you can wear with trousers one day and you can wear with a skirt the next day. So in starting my wardrobe, I would say that I love starting with a three-piece knit base. And those would be a lightweight pullover, a matching cardigan or a light jacket, a coordinating bottom like trousers or a mid-skirt, and from there you can layer, you can accessorize, or even contrast textures like silk, leather, or denim, and you can make numerous outfits with just these base pieces. So it's all about ease and impact. So something shifts after 50. And I have to say, being on my 60s now, that it shifted for me with wanting ease, comfort, but we don't want boring. We still want to look good. We still want to get attention, but something has definitely changed. And it changed not just in my mind, but it also changed in the way that I viewed how comfortable, which is for me the most important thing. So this is where the great knitwear shines. You don't have to overthink it. When your pieces work well together, you start building a capsule wardrobe that simplifies. It simplifies your life, it simplifies your mornings, and it elevates your style. So some tips that I think are important to keep in mind is stick to a color palette that you love and that works with your skin tone. I have not done my colors yet, but I think that can be very helpful because it can guide us. I would not necessarily change my style or the colors that I like, but I think it would help me to make some choices of the colors that work well for me. Although we recommend that you stick with a color palette, and all the fashionistas recommends that, we also don't have to be afraid to add some color later after we build our basic palette. Then the next tip would be invest in quality fabrics like merino wool, cashmere blends, and sustainable cottons. And that goes also for our yarn. So when we invest on quality yarn to make quality garments, those garments last longer and it feels better on your skin, and you feel better when you wear them. So it's an investment worth making. And pay attention to proportions. I really like to wear baggy linen pants. Then I will balance that with something more fitted. And Linda V. Wright does this very, very well, and she is very good at matching with proportions. And it's something that really inspired me every time I watched a show where they show how she coordinates pieces together. Now, talking a little bit, since I have been talking so much about my icon inspiration, let's talk about the two women that I find endlessly inspiring. And the first one is Linda V. Wright. If you don't know her, go look her up on Instagram. She's a former model from the US who turned a boutique owner, and she is the epitome of timeless Parisian chic. Her style is built on beautiful knitwear, crisp shirts, tailored pants, and the perfect scarf always. She owns Crimson Cashmere in Paris, France. She is understated, intentional, and always elegant. Then there's Grace Gannon, and she has a completely different vibe. She is known for her bold colors, modern silhouettes, and a powerful presence. She mixes streetwear with high fashion, and she can make it work. So what do these two fabulous fashion icons have in common? Confidence. a clear sense of who they are, and they both use fashion as a language of self-expression and not conformity. If there's one thing that we can learn from Linda and Grace, is that style does not expire, it evolves. So you are not dressing to please anyone else, you are dressing to celebrate the life you're living now. And knitwear is a beautiful foundation for that. So whether you layer a cashmere wrap to go to lunch with friends, or pair a chunky knit with wide legs pants or sneakers, you get to make your own rules. So now I want to parallel this statement, your style, your rule, with why do we make our own garments and accessories, and what is that make our heart tick, what is on making that makes us feel more alive, feel happy. It's already known that knitting, crocheting, sewing, painting, crafting, or doing something with your hands is very beneficial to our health. And it's beneficial to our minds, and it puts our brain in the same wave as when we are meditating. So, but what I also think that we get from making our garments and accessories is that it gives us the freedom to exercise your style, your rules, because by making our wardrobe, we choose our colors, our size, and even if we are between sizes, we also make modifications on patterns, on colors, on styles to fit our body. And that helps us feel more confident when we wear it, but also make us feel good about the process of making that garment, that accessory. By making, I mean when we knit, when we crochet, when we sew, or any other form of art that you can use for your wardrobe. I have decided a long time ago that I needed to start changing my style. And this year, more than ever, I have felt the need to change some pieces on my wardrobe. I still want to dress with style, and I want to streamline my wardrobe to feel more comfortable, but also with style. And I don't think that I am as bold as Grace, but I would love to be able to build a wardrobe in a different budget, of course, that it was closer to Linda's style and her how she dresses, and her colors and the things that she likes. So this year, with that in mind, I have revised almost everything on my wardrobe, and I have decided that even though it's half the year is almost done, almost gone, that I would like to revise my choices, my colors, my style, and even the proportion. And sometimes when I buy a piece, I want to think about what I already have, because I don't need to have too much if the things that I have coordinate and if they make me feel good and feel that they're part of that wardrobe that I'm trying to build. So in the beginning of the year, I had made some plans, and since I'm more serious about building my wardrobe differently, I decided to change some of those things that I had planned. And in the beginning of the year, when I made my plan for 2025 for what I was going to knit and crochet, I said that my plans were very fluid, because if I felt that I needed to change, that I needed to make different plans, that I was also going to be very forgiving with myself to make those changes, because I was already planning or thinking about that way, considering that one of the changes that I started making this year is I decided that I'm going to let the gray come in on my hair, and that's something that I think you all have noticed. And I have always had some blonde highlights, so my daughter is my hairdresser, and she has been letting some of the gray and some of my natural colors, but also putting a little bit of the highlights that I had before, just so this can grow and matches. And I am pretty happy with it. I have always said that I was not going to let my gray show until I was much older, but first I got tired of having to color my hair, and 2 weeks later have those roots showing. And then I decided that what's beautiful is for us to be growing and to be accepting what nature and life brings to us. And with age, gray hair and some wrinkles on my face. But I think that if we dress nice, if we present ourselves with the poise of also that life and maturity comes with the wisdom of knowing that this is a great sign that I'm still here and I'm still alive. So I made some changes to my knitting, and I will give you some examples of what I am planning to knit and crochet from now, May, until the end of this year, until December. And I am going to give you a list now of these things. I'm trying to be conservative because I want to also give room to make some changes or to introduce something new. I'm still going to a couple festivals, one in August, which is the Flock and Fiber in Seattle, and then I am going to the Sacred Sheep in November. The Flock and Fiber is in August and the Sacred Sheep in November of this year. And I want to give some room for myself if I want to change my mind, or if I want to get something new. A few of the things I would like to knit in the Pantone, came up with the Pantone color for 2025 being the Mocha Mousse. And I don't think I could love a color more than I love that color for my wardrobe. And their statement was that capturing a global mood of connection and comfort and harmony. And I think that's absolutely a perfect statement for that color. So keep that color in mind, the Mocha Mousse, and I am hoping to get something in that color in one of those festivals that I am going. So I separated some of the things that I want to show you by first summer teas, because we are in May, and I wanted to say and mention some of the teas that I want to knit this year. Right now I am test knitting the Get Out of the Pool by Beth McDonald Stone, and I am test knitting the fingering weight. She already has a DK weight pattern, and I'm test knitting the fingering weight, and I can show you a picture of it while we're talking about. And it's a fabulous design. I think that you can wear in the summer as a tee, but you can also layer in the fall with another jacket on top, or you can wear with as a vest. The next summer tee that I would like to knit this year is the Sabai, and the Sabai is a pattern by Suzanne Mueller, and I have bought yarn and actually have already started to make this in black. I have never made very many garments, or actually I have never made a garment in black. I have made a couple accessories, but it's not an easy color to knit with, but I'm going to try, because the picture, one of the colors in the pattern, it's black, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I have been wanting to do that for a very long time, and I think it will fit my wardrobe perfectly. So I have actually already started, and I can't wait to see how it's going to turn out and to wear it. The next one is the Plain Yoke 20 by Lynette, and that is Lynette Holmes Samso. And I really cannot wait to have that one done. I have bought yarn from Ritual Dyes, and I bought their linen last year, and I am going to knit with that yarn and hope that I'll be able to wear it for flock this year. And I think that that's going to also be a staple on my wardrobe that I could wear with anything. The next one hopefully will be more towards the end of August, and I want to knit another Hello Friend vest by Leslie Friend, and I already knit one of them and I loved it, and I bought some yarn on a color that looks more like camel, but for me it also reminds me of the Mocha Mousse, and I am very excited to have that one on my new collection and my wardrobe, and to have to make something again from one of Leslie's patterns, because I really enjoy her and love all of her choices and her patterns, and I can't wait to knit another one of that. And it also fit me like a glove, so I am excited to have that one on my wardrobe. And I think that will be also a transition garment that I can wear in the fall with something underneath, and then I can wear in the winter with a long sleeve shirt. So I'm very excited to have that one completed towards the end of the summer. I have also been making a crochet self-drafted shirt. As I said before here, I love crocheting, and especially in the summer is something I have done since I was 7 years old, and I really enjoy. So I decided that because crochet comes very easy to me, that I was going to self-draft a shirt based on a shirt that I saw from a website in Brazil that I really loved it, and I will put the picture here for you to see. And I think I'm making mine a little bit different, but just very much inspired on this one. And it's taking me a long time because I keep putting it down, but I'm hoping that I will finish it this year and that I will still be able to wear, even if it's in the end of the year. So the next category would be sweaters, and what I am planning to still make. And I already had this on the plans that I had most of these sweaters here. And I'm sorry, I'm looking once in a while. I'm looking down to look at my notes so I don't forget to say something. And the sweaters I want to do is I have bought yarn to make a pink sweater, and I'm thinking that I will either make another ranunculus, which was the idea in the beginning, but I might also make the Ilha, which is by Orlane Suche, and the ranunculus is by Midori Hirose, and everybody either has already knit one or knows about it. And I will put the name of the yarn that I bought here, and I bought it on a pink color, and I really, really love that. So I am going to be knitting that probably in the fall. And then I want to knit, and I have yarn for that also, the Once and Floral by Max the Knitter. And that one is one that reminds me of my mom because of the roses on the yoke, and I really want to have that. So I was going to knit with the roses being yellow because yellow roses are my favorite, but the roses will always remind me of her, so it will be another sentimental. And I usually connect some of my knitings with either something that's going on in my life or something we were doing while I was knitting, or with something sentimental like that. I just knitted the Tulip Tunic by Beth McDonald Stone, and that reminds me of my dad, and this one it will be to remind me of my mom. The next one is, I was just lucky enough to be able to get the yarn, which is the Noro Madara, and in the color Sake, and I want to make the step-by-step cardi by Handmade by Florence. When I saw that pattern, I fell in love with the pattern, but also with the yarn. And I found out that there is a really, really cute store, which I have been there a few times, on the coast here in Oregon, and it's called Coastal Yarns. And I found out that they sell that. However, every time they get it, they sell out very fast. So I put my name on the wait list, and when it got here this week, I was notified, and they notified me, and I went straight to the website and I bought it as fast as I could because I didn't want to miss my opportunity. And now I just got the yarn yesterday, and I will show you a picture. And I will insert a picture here because it's downstairs, but I also showed on my Instagram. And now I cannot wait for the beginning of the fall to knit my step-by-step cardi with it. I was very tempted to start today, but I have also told myself that I don't want to feel overwhelmed, and when I start too many projects, sometimes I do feel overwhelmed. So I was very tempted yesterday, and once I went to bed and woke up this morning, I told myself, no, I can wait, and it will be exciting when I start in the fall also, because then it won't be hot and it will be fun to have a new project to do. So that's another one on my list. And the last one that I would like to knit this year will be the Woolfolk 10-year anniversary sweater. And I bought Woolfolk red yarn. I have showed here when I bought that last year, and I bought it on the Sacred Sheep Festival on the Woolfolk booth that they had, and it's beautiful bright red, which it's not a color that I usually wear, but I thought that it can also be a staple and a statement. So, and I'm giving myself permission to make that statement. So that's it for sweaters for me. And on scarves and shawls, I am currently knitting a scarf or a shawl as a travel project. So they don't go very fast, but slowly I keep building on them. And right now I am knitting the Soho Square by Jackie Rose, and I am a little bit over half, and we travel about every other week for about 3 hours to a place that we really love to go in the weekends. And we when we travel, then I try to knit on my way there and on my way back, unless I have something that has a deadline, then I need to wait. But I try to do that so this way I can get my travel project done. And the Soho Square is the one that I'm working on right now, and I can show you my progress and how it's going. The next one I really want, I want to knit is the Earth Stripe Wrap, and that's by Café Facet. I bought a set from Gina changed her business name, and she is now the Knitting Adventures of Gina, I think, or Gina's Knitting Adventure is her new name. So, and I will post the name also in here. I bought this beautiful set that she was selling for this wrap, and it's olive in mohair, and I am really excited to knit that one, and I think that's going to be my next one. And after I finish that, I want to knit the Skinny Pop by Jackie Rose. I also bought is the Skinny Pop scarf, and I bought the 2024 Christmas Advent yarn from my friend Boboleros, Margaret from Boboleros, and I'm very excited to knit this scarf with that yarn. I think it's going to also be a staple because it's going to be a really long scarf, which is going to be very striped with a lot of stripes in a lot of different colors, and I can just wear something very monochromatic and just put that scarf, and the scarf will make a statement. So I'm excited to have that one done this year. And I think that's going to be it for scarves. I have 2 or 3 hats that I would like to make before the end of the year for myself. I'm still going to knit hats from now until I start in July until the end of the year for my family, because I always knit every year a scarf or a pair of socks for them. And but that will go with in when I'm not knitting a scarf or a wrap, I will be knitting a hat for myself or a pair of socks. So I interchange. 1 month I knit a pair of socks, the next month I knit a hat, and I knit them about an hour in the morning after I have breakfast. Is my gift to myself for being retired, to be able to spend a little bit of time in the morning knitting or crocheting to make my day feel a little bit less stressful. Even if I have a lot of things to do on that day, if I have time to drink my coffee calmly and knit for a little bit, it makes it really fun for me. So I start my day and I end my day knitting for a little bit. So the hats that I want to make for myself are, I would like to make an Oslo hat in the color navy, and I want to make, and the Oslo hat is by Petit Knit, and I want to make a Manhattan hat, and I think that's by Tori Yu. I want to make like a mustard yellow. I already just finished a red Oslo hat for myself, and I have a couple tan or and gray hats. But if I can get yarn, I also would like to buy the Pantone color Mocha Mousse to make another one, and that could be, I also really like the Pearl Soho classic ribbed hat, and I think that would be very pretty on the Pantone new color. I'm still planning to make 2 more socks. I'm making the quilty cabin socks right now. I did not make, I was part of a knit along with Marlene from Marlene Knits, but I did not finish not even 1 sock because I made so many mistakes on, I'm really trying to work on doing the color work on socks well, and for it to fit myself and to find also the pattern that works for my feet. So I had to undo it several times, so I did not even finish one of the socks, but I'm very close to finishing one. When I finish that one, I still want to make a pair of red socks this year to wear in December, and I want to make, I bought the collar button from Coast to Coast, and I want to make a pair of probably ribbed socks with that yarn to have a plain colored, not a plain, but a classic color socks. So I just want to look quickly here on my notes to make sure that I did not forget anything, and I think that's it. I think I'm already have a lot on my plate, thinking all the things that I would like to knit before the year ends. And even though we are still on the first part of the year, but I feel like the year goes by so fast, and when we blink it's over, right? So I think that I can make it with the plans that I made for myself, but we will see, and I will revise with you in the end of the year. Now for my final thoughts, it's to wrap up, I would like to say invest in interchangeable knitwear and in interchangeable knits also that you make that works hard for your wardrobe. Then play with proportions, that's not an easy word for me, textures and layers, and look to icons like Linda V. Wright and Grace Gannon, not to copy them, but just to remind you that a style at 50 and 60 is just the beginning of a new kind of freedom. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what are your styling favorites, and what kind of things that, and what kind of knit pieces you would like to make this year, and how your fashion mindset has evolved over time, and what is important for you today. So if this resonated with you, if you liked this kind of videos, please don't forget to like, and let me know of any other topics that you would like for me to talk or for me to bring to you here. And until next time, don't forget to keep knitting, crocheting, stay warm, stay chic, and most of all, stay you. Thank you. Ciao.